Komi, so tell us what is going on. I know we had quite a bit of news flow out of the market yesterday. We had results from Honeywell, flour mills. What impact is that having on the market today?
The two stock that you mentioned, Honeywell and flour mill. Flour mill, I think the result is pretty a disappointment. Nothing really to write home about. And also the corporate action is not what we expected of the company. I mean, the company announced a 160 kobo dividend payment, which is, if you look at the yield, is very low compared to what we've been getting from other companies. The same thing yesterday, a company called Resta declared a dividend of 30 kobo, a stock of 3 naira. That is about 10% yield. So flour mill declared 160 kobo on a stock of 57 naira. So there was no effect on the market. Though the stock didn't go up, it didn't go down, but at the same time, there was no interest to drive the market on it. The same thing for, I think Honeywell went up yesterday with the dividend of 15 kobo, which is good for the, looking at the price of 2 naira. But today it's not doing much today, aside from the fact that it went up yesterday.
All right, let's move on to UAC. Of course, there's news around the deal that they may be doing with livestock feed. They're about to buy an equity stake into the company. To what extent is that impacting the price? Maybe starting with UAC and then we'll move on to livestock feeds.
You know, UAC is the one doing the investments. At this time, there is no impact on UAC. UAC is trading flat as of now. But the counterparty, UAC will make the investment in the livestock until the full details of what they are paying and how much they are putting there is not out yet. It's a memorandum of understanding that we know that as of this state that has been signed. They need all other approval before they disclose the full details to the market. But as it is, from the way people are looking at it, is that UAC is going to make investment in livestock. We don't know how much it is, and we don't know how much they are buying the stock, how much they are valuing livestock. So as of this moment, there is no effect. The market is not reacting anyway on the UAC stock price now.
All right. Okay, and then what about what I would call the top trade for the day in your view? Clearly, the market has started the quarter on a negative note. The results we've seen so far are not very inspiring. But from the market, the way you see it today, what's an interesting trade for you?
Well, yesterday market closed down slightly, I think about 12 basis points. But I would not really say that the market didn't do well yesterday, because if you look at the old structure of yesterday's pricing action, Dangote cement came down with about 2 naira, which is almost 2%. And if you back that one out of the total trade and index yesterday, the market should have actually gone up. The banking industry went up yesterday. If you look at, the banking stocks went up. And so outside the Dangote cement, the market should have gone up yesterday. The same trend is being maintained today. The banking index, the banking sector is doing pretty well this morning. The stock like Access Bank, Guaranty Trust, Zenith Bank, they are doing pretty well. They are all up at least 1 percentage point. Those three stocks I mentioned. So it's driving the market at this moment. Volume
okay, so fair point. Dangote cement probably dragging the market lower yesterday. But in the context of the market today, what would you say is an interesting trade that perhaps is below the radar, people are not really looking at today?
Well, one interesting trade I've noticed this morning is Starcom. If you have been following the market, Starcom have been declaring losses upon losses for so many years, since it's an IPO. And the issue of the IPO, is still unresolved. There is a petition which we are all aware with the National Assembly. We don't know how far it will go. But you're looking at the stock this morning, it's trading at par, and it continues to trade at par. But one interesting thing is that it's actually people are on the bid side. Somebody bought the whole offer, about 80 million units has been done on the stock, meaning that there is, I don't know the trade, but I don't know why the trade is being done, but there could be an interesting news to come out as time goes on. Some
But
people might
that's
be
an interesting point you're making, because of course we know that Starcom has been the subject of immense speculation, and of course you mentioned that they haven't been doing well for several years, and many people are betting on the fact that Starcoms cannot go it alone. They will have to do a deal, and perhaps some people are beginning to speculate on that.
Well, I mean, that is we don't have the full details of what is happening on Starcom. But for some people to be buying, I mean, once in a while, people come in and buy clear whatever is on offer of the stock. So that means those people, I wouldn't know what news they are reacting to, but some rumors, I mean, saying that the company has to either merge with somebody, or a foreign investor, a new foreign investor comes into the stock. Whatever it is, it has to be new investment in the company, because as it is now, the company keeps, and also the company cannot compete on forex alone, so they have to go into maybe data and not the rest. Maybe that is and the new investment will have to be made into the company, and they have to maybe merge with other companies, like maybe, what do you call them?
I think Visaphone has always been a subject of a deal.
Yeah, Visaphone is doing pretty well than Starcom, although their annual is not made known to, because it's a private company. But we also know that Visaphone is not sort of fund to do any investment it wants to do. But Visaphone and Starcom, who knows, anything might happen. But those who are buying Starcom at this moment.
All right, Kwame, thanks a lot. But final point for me, your thoughts on the mood of the market. And we're starting a new quarter. I think a lot of people are disappointed at how the market played out in the second quarter. People thought those banking results should give the market a sustainable lift. That didn't happen. But what's the feeling right now as we await the results from the banks later this month?
Well, the banking sector, the banking stocks, like I said at the beginning, started the year, I mean, the quarter very well. The sector, the stocks, I mean, banking sectors went up yesterday up to like 1.5%, and the trend is to continue at least for this week, and subsequently people will react consciously, I mean, wait consciously for the result to come out. Once the result comes out and people react to that result, I think market will generally be on the doors, I mean, be very muted for the rest of the quarter. Like, you know, last quarter, I mean, last year, this quarter, third quarter last year, didn't do particularly well. But we expect that coming from the first quarter result that came out from the banks, second quarter, we expect good results for some of them, like GTB, Access Bank, and Zenith. And from experience, some of these banks, like GTB and Access Bank, pay interim dividends, which we expect. So people are already positioning for those corporate actions that should come out later at the end of this month. So you see banking stocks doing well this month, but subsequently, it's difficult to say what will happen.
All right, Kwame, thanks so much.
There is liquidity in the market.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I think that's very useful insight there. Kwame Osobu, he's the Executive Director, Reading Investments.